Welcome back. Now, Mcfly were one of the biggest pop bands of the noughties, winning the Best British Pop Act at the Brit Awards in 2005 and replacing the Beatles as the youngest band ever to have an album debut at #1.
Busy preparing for a special concert at London's O2 Arena this November, bassist Dougie Poynter has also somehow found time to turn his attention to the environment. And his new book here, Plastic Sucks, is a practical guide to how we can all help make a positive difference. Dougie, you're very welcome. Good morning.
Hi,
Good morning,
Dougie.
Yeah,
I'm really
good.
surprised to be on TV. I had no idea I was going on TV.
You thought you were going on a radio show.
Yeah.
And yeah, here you are.
That's because I'm an idiot and I don't read my itinerary properly.
That's what you get for not reading your notes.
They'll say, we send you the details, Dougie, you just didn't read it.
Yeah.
Before we get to the book and something that's very close to your heart, let's talk about Mcfly, because you guys are coming back.
Yes.
You're gigging in London in November.
Yeah, we decided that... I mean, for a few years we've been trying to get our stuff together and didn't really know like the best way to do it. So our manager just booked the O2.
It was simple as
not
that.
even like penciled in. He went ahead and properly booked it.
I love that confidence.
So we had a meeting. It was like, so who doesn't want to play the O2?
And nobody put their hand up.
No one put their hands up. So yeah, so we're like, okay, let's do the O2. That went on sale, and then next year the rest of the tour will continue.
There's massive excitement about these gigs. There really is.
And where is the tour? Where are you hoping that the tour will take you? Are you going worldwide?
I think probably maybe like hopefully eventually. We kind of just take things one day at a time.
Yeah.
We'll get that tour out the way and see what happens.
But you're still the best of mates, Dougie.
Yes.
And you see each other all the time. I was trying to get during the ad break whose bestie is.
He won't tell you.
But it's like picking your favourite child, isn't it? You can't do it.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's like picking my favourite kid. I like them all for different reasons. Harry's very, very funny. Tom is an absolute genius, and we geek out about Star Wars and dinosaurs. and Danny's just an idiot. So,
But he's your idiot.
but he's my idiot.
Yeah. Speaking of dinosaurs, this kind of goes back to when you were a child then, and your dinosaurs were kind of your entry into the natural world. You were fascinated with them.
Totally,
and it brought you into that whole world of David Attenborough, etc., etc. That was your entry into...
Yeah, it all started with a cartoon called Denver the Last Dinosaur, and I couldn't understand what the hell he was. So my mum took me to the Natural History Museum, and I saw all the fossils there, and was like, mind was blown. And then from there, got into reptiles, and then would watch Wildlife on, I think it was called Wildlife on One, David Attenborough's show, and would just pray that it was a reptile one each week. Would be really disappointed if it was penguins or something. And became a huge fan of David Attenborough, and I think about 90% of everything I know about the natural world is because of that man.
Well, you've dedicated the book to him.
I did, yeah.
And I'd imagine there are millions of people out there whose love of the natural world comes from following his programs over the years, doesn't it?
Yeah, I know. He's the voice of God, right?
He's an institution, isn't he?
Yeah.
Well, the voice of this week, Dougie, was Greta Thunberg. And I'm just wondering, off the back of this book and your passion for saving the environment, what's your take on her? Because we've had a lot of different voices and opinions about this girl.
Really?
Yeah.
Are people mean to her?
Well, there have been interesting opinions, and there's been a narrative this week that someone spoke out and said, I wonder, is she being minded? Is she enjoying a childhood? I have to be honest, I thought the same.
Listen, it's like everything. She's getting some nasty stuff on social media. Like there was a photograph of her on a train recently, travelling to somewhere, and she was having her breakfast or her lunch, and someone said she's not very conscious about the amount of plastic that's on the table. She had a sandwich in a cup, and you're thinking, forget all that. Her message, what do you think of her standpoint? And the fact that just over a year ago, she was sitting outside the Parliament with a sign in her hand, and now she is a world figure.
Yeah, I think she's amazing.
She's an
I can't believe
incredible woman.
I'm really surprised that people are horrible to her. That really sucks. I think it's because of kids like her that I feel quite reassured that we're going to be
future is
okay.
safe.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she's
Do you feel
amazing.
confident that we can get this thing right?
Because of people like her.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So I think she's great.
Why did how and why did this come about? Did you feel like, I've got to put this, I've got to commit this to paper and try and get a message out? Why did this? What was the drive behind the book?
Well, as we said, I've always been into nature, but it wasn't really something that I could do. You know, I already play in a band, so nature was just something I studied on the side and enjoyed. And it was only because of Instagram and being able to repost things and everything, I kind of fell into getting on board with getting microbeads banned, and which are those tiny little bits of plastic that you find in toothpaste and face scrubs, because that's quite an easy thing to just cut out.
Yes.
Just read the back of your toothpaste. If it says polyethylene or polypropylene, then you just don't buy it. Don't buy it. And that just started the journey, really. And I thought, you know, the kids are the future politicians, the future inventors, the future entrepreneurs. So I honestly do believe they're the most important generation. So
and it's their world that they're looking after.
It's their world, yeah. And I'm not an expert on the stuff at all. I'm not. I dropped out of school when I was 15, so my education is quite limited. So I interviewed a lot of different people from all walks of life. And got some great people contributing.
But you're using your platform very cleverly to voice important messages like that,
thanks.
because you have a gigantic following. Like, I knew McFly were huge, but I have to be honest, I was blown away by the following that you have.
Really?
And the fan clubs.
Thanks.
And the obsessives. Yeah, I mean, it's quite incredible.
Well, it's great.
You must look back, sorry, Simon, on your career and think, wow, they were incredible moments.
Yeah, I think the older I get, the more I kind of look back and I'm like, wow, I've been really fortunate. I've done some really cool things.
And what sticks in your mind? What were the, like, pinch me moments? You know, whether it was sitting in the White House or sitting
I haven't done that yet.
He's working on it, though.
Yeah, I've got to meet David Attenborough. I live quite close to him, so we've shared cars a couple of times.
Oh, brilliant.
And it was just me and him in the car. That was quite...
having the chats.
Just having a chat about ants.
Yeah, as you do.
Yeah.
Well, if you're going to meet David Attenborough, just start with ants and see
Yeah,
where it
totally.
goes. Yeah,
But there's loads of little things like that. We've played some really big shows. We've met all of our heroes. We've written songs with all of the people that the whole reason we started doing what we do. Played on stage with Brian May from Queen.
Yeah, that's quite incredible.
Yeah.
I can played in some of the most incredible arenas as well.
Yeah, that as well.
So I can imagine then when your manager called that meeting and said, look, I booked the O2, Handsome doesn't want to do it. I'd imagine, apart from the fact like you want to play the O2, but you guys are really good pals, so it's like, it wasn't a tough decision
Just
at all.
hanging out?
No,
it was a matter of when, not if, really.
Yeah, it was just schedules, really. I think that was the thing that had been stopping us for a while. But yeah, we're like brothers.
That's lovely. That is lovely, because you hear so many stories, don't you, of bands
about
falling
bands
apart.
falling out, yeah. Any plans to visit Dublin with the band?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
The man should be a politician. He's
Playing
not asking the question.
it very safe.
I should.
Listen, he didn't even know he was on the telly today, so, you know, let's not trust this
in
guy.
fairness, he thought he was going to a radio interview. I love just even flicking through the book, and again, as I said, you dedicated to Dave Attenborough. There's a chapter called The Attenborough Effect. I mean, let's put no finer point on it. He's the main reason that this message is out there, isn't he?
Yes, yeah, totally, yeah. I think all Attenborough had to do was like one TV show about plastic, and then like overnight everyone changed their opinion on it. It's incredible.
Yeah, well, you're keeping that narrative going. So well done
Thank you.
for using the platform in a very positive way. Continued success.
Thank you.
We will
And we'll
watch
see
it
you in
very
Dublin.
closely.
Yes.
Thanks for coming in, Dougie.
Thank you very much for having me.
Now, McFly fans can go to our Facebook page now for a special Dougie-shaped chance to win.
There you go.